Chris, the feature race this weekend, the Apollo Stakes, and I suppose going to be kept busy with this race. A stack of horses nominated for it, but the race in general, I suppose this race is, for most trainers, used as a bit of a stepping stone heading towards better things in the order.
Yeah, that's the plan, Dean, and certainly with our horses, obviously we've got some genuine Group 1 sprinter milers in there, but as a rule most of them are stayers starting their campaigns off, and yeah, there's not a lot of races to choose from, and unfortunately there's a few in there together, but it'll certainly give us a good guide as to where they're heading for the rest of their preparation.
Let's go through them. Dan Lee must have been thrilled with his performance first up in the Expressway. His closing sections have been very good, and we know he's a seasoned campaigner, and this looks an ideal second up assignment. Yeah,
it was a very good run. The leaders had a pretty easy time up front, and as you say, closed in late very well, so 1400 metres will certainly suit, and I think he's the winner of the race in the past and seemed to go well around Warwick Farm, so later in life he's lost a bit of that dash, so a mile would be better, but certainly a nice race for him and he'll be competitive.
With him, do you use the race day as more of your fitness gauge with him?
Yeah, we do, although in the latter years his legs have been pretty good and we can give him a pretty solid workout leading into a race, and that was this morning. He put it out on the course proper, which he loves. It's a great surface, and it allows you to put them under a bit of pressure with a bit of confidence, knowing that they're not going to pull up, jarred up, or other problems. So it was a good testing workout this morning and indicated he's on song.
Happy with the fat that comes through the Expressway as well. His first up run was terrific, given he had almost 12 months off from a racetrack.
Yeah, well, in that race we certainly we did use it as a fitness tool and a guide, and yeah, he came through it really well and performed as well as I would have expected, and again considering the tempo of the race. So he'll take a lot of benefit from that run, and it's probably the big improvement of our horses that ran first up on that day, and I think over a mile he'll be better again as well, but he'll certainly be ready to go, and hopefully in the main.
Tougher than ever. It comes through that same race, the Expressway Stakes. You would have learned a lot from that run, and I suppose it would have been pleasing to see him run a good race and be at that level.
Yeah, it was, and again considering he was 3 wide without cover, just sort of doing it a bit tough and a bit unsettled. So had he had things go his way, he could have even run in the first 3, so that was positive. Running him against the older horse is not easy, and the reason for running him this Saturday, if we do, is simply because he could still go down to the Australian Guineas. Obviously the Royal Sovereign would be his run up here in Sydney, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty strong race, especially if they all line up, and if All Too Hard wasn't to run in the Australian Guineas, it could open that race up. So he'll run Saturday, I would imagine, and possibly back up in Melbourne the following week.
The old Marlins Stables shootout against the first up last track we went over the mile was the George Main Stakes. What can we expect from him on Saturday going forward?
He's pretty forward, Dean, and obviously just a very good horse, and horses like him always run well fresh, and I think he'll do the same on Saturday, and did a great job last preparation all the way through to the Cox Plate where he ran 5th, and as you say, he's a first up winner over a mile, so 1400 is not going to be a problem, and we ran into Rain Affair last year who was at the top of his game, so everything's in order for him. It'd be nice to see him get a good gate so he's not going to be too far out on the track. I think the rail's out 5 metres, and just having a quick look at the track the other day, doesn't give them a lot of room at Warwick Farm, so it'd be nice to see him draw well so he can take a position, so he's not asking them an impossible task to him for home.
Kalani, we haven't seen since running an almighty race in the Melbourne Cup. Would have been a great thrill for yourself and the connections, running 4th, and I suppose Saturday you use this as a big stepping stone.
Yeah, it is. Not really a weight for age horse yet, but it's just the right race, building up to Chipping Norton, Randwick, and then the BMW hopefully, and obviously the latter 2 will be his main 2 races. He's carrying a bit of extra weight. I opted against giving him a second trial just to try and keep some speed in his legs, but from a fitness perspective it's probably not perfect. So he'll need the run on Saturday, but he's got class on his side. He's won over 1200 in the past, and I'm sure he'll be charging late. But against those seasoned weight for age performers, it won't be an easy task.
Top it off, Gable. He hasn't raced for quite some time. We know he's got plenty of ability. He won a Geelong Cup in 2012. New addition to the stable. What have you learnt with this horse so far?
Just a very nice horse. Got plenty of ability, which we've all seen. And it's good to get him up here in Sydney and see that he's still got it and settled in well to our climate. I've noticed on race days he sweats up quite badly, and I thought he would have been a horse that would be a nervous and tense sort of horse on the track, but he's the exact opposite. And he just he thrives since being in the stable. He's put on weight and he looks great. 1400 metres is certainly going to be the best, or well short of his best. He's on a similar path to Kalini, heading towards the BMW. So once again, just a good stepping stone Saturday, and will give us a guide to exactly where he's at.
Great to have horses like Gable in the stable. OTI love their racing, and it'd be good to have them a part of the Sydney Carnival.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's all the whole of our field's made up with good owners, and that's what you need as a trainer. And you get teams like OTI backing you from Melbourne, and it certainly is good to have their colours going around in the stable.
Well, good luck Saturday.
Thanks very much.